Hey guys, it's LSuperSonicQ here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make an armature. So this was a tutorial requested by Melissa Daniel, and essentially what an armature is the inner workings of a sculpture. So it's essentially the frame that you put clay on. Now, you guys know me, I typically don't use armatures when I do clay because frankly, I've just never felt the need to make them. But I have done a couple before, so this is really amateur. It's an amateur armature, so this will hopefully help some people who have no idea where to start. So obviously these are like grocery store twist ties. Okay, so I mean they're not the best things to be using for armature, but essentially this is how I would go about making one and then applying clay to it. Okay, so this is essentially the body, and now this is going to be an arm. So I'm going to do this, kind of measure it, that's about the right size of an arm or so, and then I'm just going to like kind of twist it. I should bring this closer. Twist it around. And there we go. We have an arm and it stays and stuff. So then we essentially do the same thing to the other side. I guess you have to kind of put it a little bit above this first one, because you don't want like there to be too much overlap, because then I don't know, you really just wouldn't want too much overlap. So they're about the same size. If they're not, then you can just kind of wrap it around again. And when we put the clay on, this won't happen. But essentially, I'm kind of, building the armature. So for the legs, it would be pretty much the same thing. I don't know, measure it, wrap it around, and then you can kind of make this go up. And then we got a leg going on here. And like I said, if it's too big, then you can just kind of wrap it around once or twice. So it's like that, and then we'll do one more. So, like I said, this is how I do it, and I think it's pretty basic, but it should get the job done if you need something to work with. All right, so we got this going on right now. So what are we gonna do? How are we gonna cover that with clay? Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take some clay and just kind of roll it up. This is it was a new little thing of clay, so it's kind of hard to work with. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to like flatten it out and put it kind of right here. So it's like this. And then I'm just going to fold it onto the armature, and it kind of shapes itself if you can't tell. So I'll do the same thing to the other side. Flatten it like this. Just kind of push it on. And then just essentially cover the frame. So I'm going to do this pretty much all the way through, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when the whole thing is covered. So this is essentially what it looks like when, the entire thing is covered in clay. Now, this is, like I said, the base. What you can do with this now that you have a working kind of figure is that you can add more clay to certain areas. You can, shape it a little bit more because the clay is still wet. You could pose it a little bit if you wanted to work with a specific pose. So that is pretty much how to make the armature and how to cover the armature and kind of where to start when sculpting. Pretty much, I guess, anything really. So yeah, thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you guys found it useful. I'm LSuperSonicQ, and until the next video, Finn.